My name's Ronjon. I'm a professor at Stanford Medicine, so that's one persona. I'm a teacher. The second persona, I'm an investor with R42. We invest in AI and longevity science companies. And the third persona is I'm an inventor. So my most exciting invention in aging right now is I'm working on an aging vaccine. Yes, what does an aging vaccine do? I mean, that's an interesting question. First of all, I think I'm a big believer of having moonshot ideas, not sub-ideas. And the idea is if you ask a big question, then you think differently. So the concept of an aging vaccine is how would you actually do it? So I'm an engineer. Even though I'm in the medical school, I'm actually an engineer at heart. And this reminds me when I was doing AI. I've been doing AI for 40 years. When I was trying to build a machine that could understand language. But 40 years ago, we didn't have the computation power. So let's try just telephone digits.
Yeah.
So how does that translate to today in aging? Let's just try clusters of diseases that are age-related. Cardiovascular is the #1 killer. Cancer is a big killer too. Neurodegeneration, of course, is a big killer. Let's start with cancer, because cancer is kind of an interesting one. Can we create a pan-cancer vaccine? Because if you solve one cancer, it has a habit of metastasizing. So that hasn't actually solved the problem. You have to solve lots of cancers at the same time. And so we're at like 30 cancers when we're looking at using computational techniques, as many different gene expression pathways for as many of the cancers as possible. And then trying to look at existing safe drugs and see which ones affect those expressions, and then trying to come up with combinations. So even if you have 2 drug combinations, there's 2,500 drugs that have been past phase 1, maybe 10,000 in the world, and different FDA equivalents. You have about 1 trillion of potential combinations. And the thesis is, let's not invent a new drug. Let's just use the existing ones in different combinations. So that's how we're trying to do it initially as a aging vaccine. Start with a cancer vaccine, then a cardiovascular vaccine, and you start merging them together.
I see.
And of course, often when you solve one, the other one gets solved too.
Oh, do you believe the drug repurposing is the best way to?
I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah.
I think it wipes out 10 years of development time.
Yes.
Wipes out probably a couple of $100 million of development cost. And so there is an old phrase in pharma: the best way to invent a drug was start with an existing one. And so this is the approach we have in Educator, which is working on the aging vaccine. We have other companies. We have investment in Rubido. We invest in Turn Bio, which are new chemical entities. So we do those things. I have interest in these other areas. Aging is obviously very complex. And so we have to try different approaches. And I probably have about 100 companies. And really look at the intersection of medicine and mathematics. So generally a computational bias. But other fields we're looking at is mitochondria. So you have Matrix Bio that's looking at mitochondria. Like take your mitochondria from you, grow the good ones and give them back to you. So sort of harvesting in a bioreactor. And we have other companies, Ixana, which is doing dry age-related macular degeneration, for which there's no cure. And we're looking to do first in human in the next few months on that. So that came out of the University of Pittsburgh. So very looking at that. What else are we doing? We've got a public listed company, Cap AI, on the London Stock Exchange, that also develops ideas and operations in artificial intelligence and longevity science. And that stock's has increased 20 times this year in market cap.
Oh, wow. That's fascinating.
So that's me. And I live in Silicon Valley, but do a lot of investments in the UK and do a lot of teaching. I taught 2,000 people last year.
Oh, wow.
And you can take my course too.
I hope so.
It's an AI course we're teaching. I usually teach it most quarters, and then teach a longevity science course too.
as I know, you did some work around telecommunications
Yes.
time, right? That
Yes.
was the inflection point around that time. You are now focusing on longevity and biosci. So I think you have some gut feeling of seeing some biggest things here. So could you share more about that?
Sure. I'm usually entering a field 10 years before it actually becomes white hot. And I think my gut feel, my intuition here, we have tools that we just didn't have, even like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But certainly 10 years ago, we have more databases, we have more computational models available to us. And we also have more AI techniques where you can actually, instead of reading a million papers that are published every year, you can have a machine read them for you instead. And so what they call an agentic framework. So in other words, instead of just doing the reading part, maybe you can also do the prediction part, and the modeling part, and the visualization part. And instead of saying doing each one of those individually to cure cancer, maybe you just tell the machine, please cure cancer. And it reads 200 million papers, finds the 6 databases that are useful to you, retrains the database for 50 different cancers, and spits out the predictions into a visualization software, but does it all at once instead of you having to do it separately one at a time. So we're entering that field where you can speed up like 10x, 100x, which would reduce the cost, hopefully increase the accuracy, the reliability, because as you know, in pharma, it's notorious for high failure rate, and that's really the expense. When people say it's $1 billion to create a drug, what really they're factoring in is the failure rate.
Yes.
If they don't fail, it's quote unquote only $100 million. Still a lot of money. But trying to be a bit more astute, I think, is what I think people are going to be forced to economically to look at these different newer approaches.
I also personally really believe that, because I worked for the mobile industry before, and I was in semiconductor field. So, but I'm seeing, as you mentioned, we have lots of data, and also we have tool now, so we can create another dimension, solutions from all the existing things. So I think, so that's why I wanted to ask that question.
And it's exponential. It can be shorter and shorter and shorter cycles. I mean, sort of like the third industrial revolution probably took 40 years for manufacturing, and then semiconductors took 30 years, and then computers took 25 years, and then mobile took 15 years. The innovation cycles are getting shorter and shorter and shorter. And that's because we're getting cleverer. The machines are getting cleverer to do our work for us instead of us doing the work. It started off with manufacturing and a machine just doing mechanical work. And now we're in the digital age, which moves much quicker than moving a block from here to here. So it's at the speed of your clock speed.
Yes, exactly. I also wanted to ask your insight, because I have some other belief in order to accelerating this whole process, the incentive structure, and also the more diverse data point from healthy individual. So in terms of that business model, incentive model, and also the diversity and lots of data point, I think the business and the solution for consumer side also could be biggest role in that journey.
No, I agree with you. I think the traditional model is fine. You invent a drug, create patents, and all these people who were involved in your trial, if they're lucky, they get $50. And we keep whining about there's not enough data. Well, guess what? What if we told everyone, it might have to be driven by a government, that, if you upload your genome, we'll give you a tax credit. We'll give you a percentage of the profits from the drugs that are created from it. We'll license it to companies, and you can have a percentage of the profit. If you don't want to, that's you're worried about privacy. You don't have to, but if you do, maybe you get part of the economic chain as well, which right now is not done. It's certainly, I think patents are a necessary evil. I think they are evil. I think arguably there is a school of thought they're a crutch for people who can't build enough substance without needing a legal barrier. In biotechnology, it's pretty much almost automatic. Go get a patent and monetize it for 17 years. There are other approaches. You can just keep it a secret, and then. But the thing is, people can do mass spec and on the drugs. But there may be other ways to monetize it than the traditional. Do trials, build it, get a patent, publish it, and license the patent. There might be other ways to do it. So I agree with you. People are not being very creative. Those are just two or three ideas I just came up off the top of my head without even thinking about it.
Okay, because my next question was about the challenges, but you just touched about that. So let's move into the next question. What do you think aging will look like in 5 years?
5 years. Keon, which country are you from?
Korea.
South Korea?
Yes.
I presume, yes. You can tell me. South Korea going to be extinct in 50 years because the
oh my God,
replacement rate in the US it's dropped to 1.6 and in Japan it's 1.2. But here in South Korea it's 1.75.
Yes.
So your population is 60 million, right? So in one generation you'll be 25 million.
Yeah.
In two generations it'll be 10 million. So South Korea just won't exist.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So aging, 5 years is too short, I think. It won't much. I don't think it'd be that much difference between today. Basically, we might have a blockbuster drug, and maybe that one's already happened. Maybe it's GLP-1. Maybe it's something we invent, the aging vaccine. We might need a couple more years, but I think the macro sense in 15 years it's one of those things. Demographic shifts. You don't realize it until it actually happens. Right. It's very slow. And then suddenly you realize, oh, there's no one to do the work. All these towns that are 30 miles away from the capital city are empty. And people can't sell their businesses because there's no one to sell them to. Right. And there's no tax revenue. And that's probably all developed countries. The next 50 years are going to have that issue. Yeah. And the last 50 years we've been thinking about overpopulation. Next 50 years we'll be thinking about underpopulation. I think the winners will be Africa and India. They have young populations. Yes. And so they won't have a shortage of workers or demographics. And the rest of the world we'll try and import them. Because they physically, otherwise they'll go bankrupt. Yeah. Yes, that's really. This is another aspect. I just wanted to add that question. Some people talk about because of the humanoid and robotics and AI will cancel this birth rate issue. And from a work point of view, that might be possible. That you won't need to do any work because the machines will do it for you, and the government will just give you a stipend every month. But there'll be huge social, intergenerational dynamics. That will be different. So from a work point, from a tax revenue point of view, I'm not completely convinced. But AI could come just in time to fill in the lack of workers. But then you'll still have the problem of the economics, the tax revenue being sufficient.
Yes. Actually, this is hot topic in South Korea now.
Now they're realizing. You're realizing.
Yeah. So it's so serious. So yeah.
I mean, it's something governments need to think about. Governments are voted in every 4 or 5 years, but it's a 20 years from now.
And so also,
it's like climate change, the same problem. It's 25 years from now, so people don't pay attention to it as much.
So sad. That's our last question. What's one thing you wish more people understood about longevity?
Well, I think people in longevity circles talk about lifespan and health span. So we almost don't mention it. We just assume we're talking about health span when we say it. Right. But when people outside the field, they think, well, no, I don't want to live longer because I'll be in misery. But no. We're trying to get longevity in good health. And the technical definition for that is health span as opposed to lifespan. And ideally, you want lifespan and health span to be the same number, to equal. Now, there is a school of thought, maybe you want to just have lifespan, even if you're struggling. I mean, maybe you want to see a project through, maybe you want to see your great-grandchildren, maybe you're willing to suffer a little bit for that. But most people say, I wouldn't want to do that. I just want to be live a full life, maybe have a week of misery and keel over, right? And so it's equal. And I think when we're in longevity science, we're trying to do that. That's what we are actually trying to do. I mean, there's Jack Lane, who's you probably all of you are too young. He used to go on television like 30 years ago all the time, and if anyone was fit and did good behavior, it was him. He was vegetarian, doing push-ups every day, running and telling everybody to be healthy. And in the end, what got him was pneumonia. But he was doing push-ups almost till the very end, and maybe 1 or 2 weeks of misery, and that's it. And so probably lived about 90 or so. So still a good age. But the important thing is, a health span almost equals lifespan.
Yes. So we hope. We will.
And we will have people we know, relatives or friends that have the unfortunate position of being a few years in misery, and that's what everyone's mostly worried about. Yes.
Oh, thank you for your insightful talk.
Is that okay? That was longer than 5 minutes.
Sorry,
you cheated me.